You bring a beautiful, vibrant plant home, set it in the perfect spot, and wait. Slowly, you watch it lose its posture and droop. The visual sequence is almost always the same. The rich green foliage fades into a sickly pale hue. The edges turn crisp and yellow, and the once sturdy stems go limp. The immediate sinking feeling is guilt. You assume you did something wrong, overwatered the soil, or simply lack a green thumb. The plant is reacting to a deep environmental confusion, struggling to reconcile its biological needs with the specific signals of its new home. For plants, light is literal food. They rely entirely on photosynthesis, the process of capturing photons to convert water and carbon dioxide into usable energy. No light simply means no food. But here is the biological hurdle at the center of plant care. The initial stress signals of a plant starving in the dark and a plant burning alive in the sun look identical to the naked eye. Because both extremes trigger yellowing leaves, the immediate reaction is panic. You see the fading color and start moving the pot from the windowsill to the coffee table and then to the bookshelf, wildly guessing at what it needs. That rapid emotional reaction actively makes the problem worse. By constantly changing its location, you are piling environmental shock directly on top of its existing stress. To actually save a failing houseplant, you have to stop guessing and learn to read the distinct secondary physical symptoms of light stress. Let's look at the first extreme, a plant sitting right against a bright sun-drenched window. Most popular houseplants, like pothos and monsteras, originally evolved under the dense, filtered shade of tropical forest canopies. Their cellular biology is entirely unprepared to process harsh midday sun. A standard glass window pane acts like a magnifying lens. It concentrates incoming solar radiation, intensely heating the plant's delicate cells. Look closely at the foliage facing the glass. Leaves look bleached, developing crispy brown patches, exactly where the concentrated radiation hits hardest. Inside the pot, the soil dries out at an accelerated, highly abnormal rate as the plant loses moisture to the intense heat. These specific physical markers indicate the plant is actively sustaining thermal radiation burns. Now look at the exact opposite scenario, a plant tucked neatly into an aesthetically pleasing but dimly lit interior corner. In the shadows, the rate of photosynthesis plummets. The plant is cut off from its primary food supply. To survive, the plant undergoes a desperate biological response called etiolation. It is a physical mutation where a plant rapidly elongates its stems in a frantic attempt to reach the nearest light source. This structural comparison shows etiolation. On the right, the plant creates abnormally long, thin stems. The gaps between leaves stretch far apart, and leaves grow much smaller with a dull color. This fragile, stretched geometry permanently locks into place. It will never shrink back. The plant is cannibalizing its own internal energy reserves in a frantic, physical bid to escape starvation. Navigating between burning and starving requires understanding the hidden, shifting light zones created by the layout of your home. This floor plan shows direction dictates intensity. South and west-facing windows deliver the strongest light. North and east offer gentler exposure. But distance is the real trap. Light intensity doesn't decrease linearly. It drops off at a steep exponential rate just feet away. Recognizing this invisible exponential gradient is the only way to safely position a pot without relying on guesswork. The foundational rule of plant recovery is simple. Environmental stability matters far more than finding the perfect spot on your first try. Plants operate on a different biological timeline than we do. When you change their light exposure, they require weeks to actually acclimate to the new conditions. If you spot crispy leaves and suspect overexposure, make a micro-adjustment. Pull the pot back just a few inches, or add a sheer curtain to filter the rays. The difficult truth of plant anatomy is that older leaves bearing the scars of sunburn or the stretch damage of etiolation will never heal. They are permanent records. But watch the new emergence. If a fresh leaf unfurls strong, appropriately sized, and vibrantly colored, your light alignment is correct. Conversely, if the new growth continues to emerge pale, structurally weak, or distorted, the environmental mismatch remains unresolved. A plant's newest leaves act as a flawless biological lie detector, detailing the exact state of its environment. Maintaining healthy plants requires moving past emotional, panicked reactions and adopting the analytical observation of physical patterns. When you achieve that perfect light alignment, the plant stops using its energy just to survive and transitions into active, vibrant thriving. That yellowing leaf functions as a readable biological distress signal, a call for a simple geometric adjustment.